Welcome to Ghosted by the Machine, the podcast where job seekers break through the algorithm and get heard. No bots, just 5 minutes of real talk. I'm your host, Mark Lane. So let's jump in. 5 minutes, 5 questions. Again, this is Ghosted by the Machine. And our guest today is Chris Shannon, a senior training and development professional. He's all the way from San Diego, California, who's currently looking for a senior role in training and instructional design. Chris, welcome to the show.
Morning, Mark. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for your time. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself and what role are you looking for these days?
Well, as you said in the intro, I'm a training and development professional with over 25 years of experience spanning multiple industries, all delivery modalities. I've got vast experience with both small and large projects, domestic and international, and all the delivery modalities. Like I've got over 10,000 screens of interactive e-learning to my credit, and I can't even tell you how many instructor-led courses I've developed.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, do you think AI has helped you or hurt you during your job search right now, and why?
That's hard to say because talking to people about AI, it's clear that most don't even know what it is or how to use it. They just think it's this new thing out there and like some sort of giant electronic brain that's going to do all of our work for us. But resumes were already screened by the intake process for keywords and things like that. And if AI is doing that, then I don't see how anything's changed all that much. It is interesting in that it can review your resume and hopefully it can gather more out of the resume than just what's there, because resumes don't show everything.
Well, it's interesting. I'm sure you've had a few of those AI phone calls, job interviews. Have you had a few of those in the past?
Oh yeah, sometimes it's pretty good. The first few ones I thought were pretty interesting, but then I started to realize that they don't let you give the full answer and they cut you off, and so it's not perfect. It's an interesting way to sort of simulate a human interaction, and it's not totally awful, but it's got a lot of room for improvement.
Okay. So, what would you consider your secret skill or superpower most resumes don't show?
Well, that's a great question, because one of the things in my field after a few years of being in this business is that I'm a lot of times typecast as a technical training guy, because I've got a lot of technical training experience in auto industry, aerospace, advanced manufacturing, things like that. And a lot of recruiters, because they don't know what I do really, they think that's all I can do. So they won't consider me for any non-technical things, although my resume shows lots of that too. What I've learned over the years is that people with technical training experience can develop training for anything. And that's because the criteria for success is very different for technical training versus non-technical. So there's not a lot of gray area. And with soft skills training, which is also super important, I don't want to diminish that, but the criteria for success oftentimes comes down to participation or attendance at the session. And there's not a lot of emphasis on specific knowledge or skills being transferred or demonstrated from the training. So for all you recruiters out there, technical training means good. They can develop training for literally anything.
Okay.
But non-technical training resumes, they hit the nuts and bolts, and most of the time they stop.
Well, that leads us to our next question. What's one thing you tell recruiters or hiring managers today during this process?
It's been a really frustrating process because I've been told by many recruiters I have a great resume, and I always follow up by saying, "Okay, great, hire me." And one of the things is that I'm sure this is a common complaint. You send out resumes and you don't hear anything, and and to me it sounds like, I start to feel like the Bruce Willis character in A Sixth Sense, like maybe I died and nobody told me, because I don't hear anything. It's like the resume goes into this void that you never hear anything again. And the other thing is that once you contact somebody and you're submitted for a job and maybe you even take an interview or two, it takes forever. It shouldn't take this long to hire somebody, because there's real people out there like me and others who really need to get a job, and taking weeks and weeks and weeks to make a decision like that does real harm to real people. And I think recruiters need to be aware of that. It's frustrating and painful, and sometimes does really long lasting harm to the people looking for work.
So, Chris, is there anything that's giving you hope right now?
Yeah, actually, and I think that the biggest thing is that this time around there's lots of jobs. And I've gone through a dry spell before where there weren't any jobs, like around 2009 to 2010 or so. There weren't any jobs, and recruiters would tell me that they've gotten 5,000 applications for one job, and so I don't know how they handle that. That's where all this automated stuff and AI has come along to help them out. But at least this time, there's lots of jobs. I'm still not hearing back from most of them. Just really frustrating, but it gives me hope that at least there's something out there.
Well, I know I shouldn't ask you one more question, but how many jobs or applications have you reached out and done?
I got laid off in January 2025, and it's now the middle of October. I've had over a dozen interviews. Um, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had, like follow-up questions or conversations through email about jobs I've applied for. I try to apply for between 15 and 25 jobs a day. So I'm doing probably 200 job applications a week. And so do the math. I've probably applied to 1,200 jobs since January.
Wow. Well, Chris, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. And if anyone out there, if you know of someone who should meet Chris, check out the contact information in the show notes. We'll have all that listed. If you want to be on the podcast, email me, DM me, or comment on LinkedIn or TikTok. We're always looking for real voices in this ghost town of job search silence. This is Ghosted by the Machine. Let's make hiring human again. We appreciate your time. Chris, thanks again. If this story resonates with you, help us share it. Hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thanks again, and have a great day.
Thanks, Mark.